How you doing today? I'm FrankieG, the Cooking Cowboy. Well, we're smack dab in the middle of summer, and for most Americans that means grilling time. So what am I going to be grilling today? I'm going to be doing some baby back ribs. So I've done a lot of research, and what I've come up with is a bunch of different ways and combined them together to make a beautiful baby back rib on the grill. Now I'm going to be using a gas grill, but I'm going to be showing you a special way to smoke on the grill at the same time. So let's get started. These are beautiful racks of baby back ribs, but on all ribs, sometimes they come with the membrane on and the membrane off. Now the membrane is still on, so we want to remove the membrane. The way to do that is you take a paper towel, and there's a couple of different methods. I like to use a butter knife to get started. Sometimes it's easier to get this done by coming in from the side, so let's try that. Getting it started is the hardest part. Once you get it going, you can start working your way around the end. And since I'm righty, I'm going to turn it around this way. And we're going to, you see that coming up, that membrane right there. Now it's important to remove this membrane because what this membrane does is it blocks smoke when you want to smoke meats. It also, the rubs don't adhere as well to it. So it's a good thing to remove it. Some people like to just poke holes in it. Me, I want to get rid of it, make it go away. Look at that, how beautiful it comes up. That's one. And now you can see, if you look at both ribs, one of them is shinier than the other. So that's how you know when there's a membrane. It has a very shiny bottom. So now let's get the other one going. Again, once you get it started, you can start working your way across. Get it to one end and then peel the whole thing from one end. Turn it around. And peel it right off. And let's get rid of that stuff. So now that we've got the membrane off, the next step is to marinate the meat. Now we're going to do this for about 2 to 4 hours. So what I want to do is grab my sheet pan right here. So in order to make this marinade, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using equal parts of orange juice and ginger ale. I'm also going to be adding some salt and a packet of dry ranch seasoning. So let's get that all put together. I'm going to start with 1 cup of the orange juice. And 1 cup of the ginger ale. About 1 cup as soon as the bubbles go down. I'm going to add that. So I'm going to add another cup. So I'm going to be a total of 2 cups of each orange juice and ginger ale. The reason I started out with 1 cup because I didn't know how much this was going to hold. So put the lid on that. Put the lid on that. Get them out of the way. Now we're going to be sprinkling in some salt. And again, what's the only kind of salt I use? Pink Himalayan sea salt. So let's get a little bit of salt in there. and a packet of dry ranch. Let's get that all mixed together. Another trick to make things mix better is to use an emulsion blender. This is an emulsion blender. It's a wonderful thing. Usually you can make shakes with it, but in this case, since I'm having a little trouble getting the ranch dressing to mix well, I'm going to try this. That's good. Now let's give that a little taste. Not bad at all, not bad at all. So now what you want to do is you want to place these in the marinade face down. And you just want to let them sit for 2 to 4 hours. So in 2 to 4 hours, we're going to get to the next step, which is going to be the dry rub, and then we're going to get them going on the grill. And I'm also going to show you a neat trick how to take a regular gas grill and turn it into a smoker. I'll see you in a couple hours. All right, it's been about 2 hours since the ribs have been marinating, so I want to get them out of there and I want to start prepping them. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting the meat side down, bone side up, putting some olive oil on them, and then I'm going to put on my homemade dry rub. Now if you want the ingredients for the dry rub, you can go back to my earlier video when I made the ribs in the Instapot, and I have all the ingredients and how much of each ingredient in that video. So let's get some olive oil. Running out here. But I have another. So let's get this one on. And we'll rub this in. And here is my dry rub, and it's just the most amazing dry rub. And anyway, again, so if you want the ingredients, you can go back to the other video. So you want to sprinkle it on, and I like to go about 6-7 inches, so it kind of like rains on it and coats it more evenly. So you get it on the bottom side of each one. Also try to get it on the edges. Same with this one. People like to suck on those edges. And now you don't want to rub it in, you just want to pat it down. Get some more on the end here. Then you want to flip it over to the star of the show, which is the meat side. Again, get a little bit of olive oil on there. On both of them. Rub that in real well. And then again, sprinkle the dry rub on top. So now we've got all of the dry rub on. Let's pat it down as well. Look at that. They look beautiful, huh? Now these are actually ready to go on the grill. but I need to get the grill prepared. Now, I only have a gas grill, but I want to smoke these. So what I want to do is I want to show you a little trick on how to turn your gas grill into a smoker. Let me just get myself cleaned up and I'll show you that tip. So here's my tip on how to turn a gas grill into a smoker. You want to get some tin foil. You want to keep it pretty much square. This is not quite square, but it's not that far off. And what you want to do is fold it in half. As best you can. And then fold it in half again. Okay? So now, what we do is we take the sides and we fold it up very carefully, about a 1/4 inch, and then do it a second time. Then we do the same thing on the other side. Fold it up a second time. And you can even come up on the bottom, even though it's not open. You want to fold it up at least one time. All right. Now, what we have here is we have a pocket. So you want to take some wood chips and fill it up inside. And you don't want to get them wet. You don't have to soak wood chips. Some people say you should soak for about a half hour in water. It's really not necessary. So you fill it up. So then you want to close this up on the end. Make sure it's sealed well. And you have this little packet. So now once you got the wood chips in there, all you want to do is poke one small hole in the center. That's it. That's all you need. Now, you just place this on the grill under high heat for about 5 minutes and the smoke will just start coming right out. So there's my little tip on how to turn your gas grill into a smoker. Very cheap, very economical. So let's move it outside now so we can get the grill going. I'll see you in a minute. So now that we're out here on the grill, first thing we need to do is get this baby fired up. So I'm going to be lighting the right burner and the left burner and leaving the center one off because we're going to be using indirect heat. Let's get that going. So now the burner's around. I'm going to shut it for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to scrape the grill because you don't want to have a dirty grill because that kills everything. So let's get this baby heated up a little. Alright, so now that I've got the grill cleaned off, it's heating up, I'm going to take my little tin foil bag with my wood chips in it, put it on the left burner or over the left burner so it's under high heat, and let's get that smoking started. Again, I've got the right side and the left side burners on, the center off, so we're just going to place that in the left-hand corner. We're going to let that go for a few minutes and then we're going to see if it starts to smoke. Alright, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. So my little smoke bomb is starting to smoke a little bit, but I can't wait. I got to get cooking because these things take a long time. Now I'm going to cook them a total of about 3 hours at 275 degrees. So let's get this going. Again, we're going to go for about an hour at 275 and then we're going to take them, we're going to flip them over and cook them another hour. So I'll see you guys in an hour. Alright, so it's been an hour. So now the next step is really simple. We're just going to turn them over and let them cook another hour. So in another hour, we'll come back and we'll get to the next step. I'll see you in about an hour. So okay, so it's been 2 hours. We've cooked one side for an hour and now the other side for an hour. Now the next step is to wrap it in tin foil, add some apple juice to it, wrap it up, and cook it for another hour. Let's get that done. They're looking good so far. Now I just want to measure the tin foil, make sure I've got enough. That'll be one, and now I'll get a second one. So we're going to take these out, put it in the tin foil. So we're going to fold up the sides, make kind of a boat, pour some apple juice in there. And when we do that, what happens is it tightens up that meat and it also tenderizes. So let's get that done now. I'm going to keep a loose tent. And then we want to get that back on the grill. Get the next one and set it in the tin foil. Make our little boat like that. Add some apple juice. I'm going to close that up. Get that back on the grill. Now the apple juice is going to kind of create like a steaming effect, and this is going to tenderize that meat so much. And then we'll come back in 1 hour with the final step, which is adding the homemade barbecue sauce, which I'm going to be creating inside. See you in another hour. So now that we got the ribs outside doing their things and the apple juice and the last hour wrapped up in tin foil, we're going to start making our barbecue sauce. The first thing we want to do is get that pan hot. So the reason I want to get the pan hot first is because you don't want to put the oil in right away in a cold pan because it could burn the oil. So you want to let that pan get hot first. So that's why I want to let the pan heat up first. So now that it's starting to heat up, let's add the oil. Now let's put the onions in. So now we're going to cook the onions for a couple of minutes to let them get translucent. So what we're trying to do here is cook the onions until they become translucent. Then we're going to start adding the other ingredients. So that looks good. So now we're going to add the molasses. I'm using 3/4 of a cup of molasses. Always have a spatula ready so you can get it all out. So we want to lower this heat down so we don't want it to burn. Now we're adding in 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. We also want to add 6 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I'm losing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 tablespoons. Let's stir that in a little. And then we want to spice it up a little bit with some hot sauce. I usually like Texas Pete, but I couldn't find it, so I just got regular Tabasco. This should offset some of the sweetness from the molasses. Stir that in. So let's get a little taste. Some heat and some sweet, that's good. So I'm going to lower the heat so it just simmers a little bit. So the barbecue sauce will be ready in a couple of minutes. We got about 20 minutes left on the 3rd and last hour cooking outside. So then we're going to put on the barbecue sauce and let it cook for about another 10 minutes on the grill, and we'll be done. All right, so I'll meet you outside in about 20 minutes. See you then. Okay, so it's been 3 hours. What we want to do is get them out of the tin foil, put our barbecue sauce on, let them go about another 10 minutes, and then we're going to bring them inside. Let's get it done. Got to be real careful because you don't want to get any of that juice on the grill. Get that turned over. Get the barbecue sauce on it. Try to get those edges as well. Get it turned over. Get this side done. That's one of them. Let's get the other one now. Oh, it's looking beautiful. Let's get this tin foil out of the way. Let's get them turned over. Oh yeah, it's pulling away nice. Oh yeah, they're pulling away from the bone nice. Let's get this side barbecued up. So you get it on the edges as well. Turn it over. Get that barbecued up as well. Now we're going to close this up and give it about another 10 minutes. Okay, so in 10 minutes we're bringing it inside the rest for another 10. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so it's been another 10 minutes. It's time to get these babies off the grill. Let's see what we look like. My God, they are looking beautiful. Let's get a look at that. They are looking beautiful. Let's get them off the grill. One, two. Let's shut this baby off. Get her down. Let's get him in the house to rest for a couple of minutes. So I got some corn and some broccoli going. They're not fresh, they're frozen, but I don't care about that. The star of the show is the ribs. Let's get them in the house. Okay, so it's been 3 hours. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the end off. I'm going to start cutting some pieces up and we're going to give it a try. So now another secret is what you want to do is, I'm just cutting the end piece off. And now I got a piece of meat on this side and I want to cut next to this bone right here. So now I have a piece of meat on both sides. Then what you want to do is cut this bone out. Just like that. Make sure you get the meat off it though. On the side, so now we have meat on the left and on the right, and cut there. And that's a thing of beauty. Again, sometimes you could just pull the bone out. That's beautiful. And then again, we cut on this side and cut through. Let's get the bone out. All right, but enough about cutting. Let's get a taste. They look good. Wow. They're tender, they're juicy, very flavorful. This is beautiful. This is well worth the wait. Right off the bone. These are perfect. What a beautiful way to barbecue on a Sunday afternoon. And remember, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, Frankie G, the Cooking Cowboy, signing off. Sayonara.